Hey guys, what's going on? I recently dropped a video of the 2024 Nike Classic for Legacy Volleyball Club up in Michigan, and I did something a little fancy in the beginning of the video where I flipped the little Nike logo. It looks something like this. Some of you were wondering how I did that, and so this tutorial is for that. So let's just jump right into it. All right, so I've got my timeline open here in Adobe Premiere Pro, and first thing you want to do is take this clip into After Effects. I've already done that, but I'm going to show you how you can do that really quickly. If I click on this clip, come up in here, and then go to replace with After Effects composition, it will create an After Effects comp out of it. You'll see what that means in a second. All right, so you have your clip here in After Effects, okay? And as you can see on mine, I've already got mine labeled. I've got my spin layer. These are just names that I've made up. Nothing is perfect. My spin layer is obviously the one that spins. The tint layer is the one that's underneath it. So if I hide the spin layer, you'll see that I still have that same shape, that same cutout, so that when I move the Nike Classic up and spin it, it looks as though there's empty space behind it, even though there's not actually. I've seen some people where if they do it on like a jersey, so if I were to take this right here and I were to take the executive producer off and want it to fly on, I could rotoscope that out and then just blacken the background so it flies on. It looks like it's sticking on. That's kind of what I wanted to do here, but I wasn't going to make like a cityscape in the background. So I just tinted out the Nike Classic symbol there and made it kind of black so it gives that effect. It's all happening pretty fast in the video anyway, so you don't really notice it, but that's what we have going on. And then you have your original layer, okay? What you'll want to do is so when you first get into After Effects, you'll have just that one layer. You're going to want to duplicate it, and you're going to want to label it these three things. At least that's the way I did it. You can do it your own way, but this is how I did it, okay? And then your spin layer is where you're going to do the rotoscoping. So I click into my spin layer. If you look up the top here, you'll see it says layer, spin layer, and then this is the composition, goes back to the full thing. So here we are. Here's my spin layer. Okay, I actually already have it rotobrushed out. All you're doing is clicking and dragging, and it's going to start to put this purple or pink line, whatever color that is. It's probably pink. Put that pink line around, okay? Once you have it where you want it, you're going to go ahead and hold Command, and you're going to click through and go to each frame of the video to make sure that it is the way that you want it to be. Now, this video for me was in super slow-mo, so with that being the case, there's not a lot of differentiating frames in this video, so it's really easy to actually cut this out and have it ready to go. But if you're doing something like a person, their arms moving, it might catch and be a little funny. Make sure you do your first Rotobrush on the first frame of the screen, because then it will try and read it the rest of the way through. It's pretty good. I will say it's pretty good. I've not had many problems with it. But again, if you're doing a person, it can get a little complicated. So just take that in mind. But once you're done, once you have it ready to go, you click freeze, okay? That will confirm that cutout. It's going to play through, and we'll have that speed through right here in the video. So we've gone ahead and Rotobrush, and as you can see, I actually have all three of my layers. You've Rotobrushed. You're going to want to make a copy of that Rotobrush and label it the tint layer. I may have misspoke earlier on making it 3 different ones. Don't do that. Make only 2. So have your original and your spin layer. Once you've Rotobrushed the spin layer, then copy that and make the tint layer. All right, so our Rotobrush is good. We've got it down. We're happy with it. It's going to look good. So we're going to come back into the comp, okay, the composition layer. You can close out of that if you want. Come back into the composition layer, and we're going to hit these little drop downs. Now, I actually already have mine in there, but I'm just going to show you what I did in the process that I did it with. First things first, you're going to want to turn that spin layer and make it 3D by clicking this box, okay? Then you're going to want to click this. That adds motion blur to whatever it is that you do. Pretty simple. All I did for this one was I scaled it up, scaled it back down, and I had to do a spin. So you'll click your spin layer, you'll click the drop down, and you see here, because I actually turned that 3D layer on and off for you real quick, it actually took away the rotation that I did, but you can see the scale keyframes in there, okay? So we come forward, and you can see it start scaling up, and then scaling back down to its original size, okay? I spun it. I wanted to do 1/360. So that was on the Y rotation. So what you're going to do is you're going to put that Y rotation. You can move the degrees and you'll see it start spinning. If you spin it all the way 180, it'll be obviously flipped, inverted, and then you do 360. And what it'll actually do is add like a little 1 next to your little Y rotation. You'll see that right here. So you could just type in the 1 there. It gives you 1 full rotation and you're good to go. So I actually went and undid everything that I did because I wanted to see where my keyframes were exactly, just so you guys can see exactly how I did it. So we've got the Y rotation. It's currently set to 0. You'll see that. The scale is normal, okay? And we have the keyframes set. So if you don't know how to set keyframes, you click this little watch here, okay? And then you move to the next point in your video that you want it to start, something to start happening. You make an adjustment and then you click this little diamond here, and that will allow that keyframe to happen over the course of that little segment of the video. So obviously everything's at its base right here. You move forward 2 frames and you've got the scale. Scale hasn't started yet, but the rotation has started to happen, okay? As you continue on through, you see that it does its flip, it does its scale up. I have it there reaching its peak. That's at 180, so it's done 1 half spin, and it is at 179, 180 scale. Then you come back, and that's how it lands there. Okay, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Make sure you're adding those keyframes using those little diamonds. That's going to help you with this process. So if we play it through, we see that it does a little flip. Okay. So now that we've done our spin layer, we're going to go into the tint layer. So I just hide that. Here's what I've done to make this look like this, so it kind of blends in. Okay. I have an effect. Obviously the Rotobrush is already there because we did that to the spin layer and we just copied that. Then I went to effects, did tint, put that on, and then I just selected the matte black 2 and the matte white 2. I just picked one of the colors, did a color picker on the back there. Tried to make it blend in as best as possible. Again, once you play through it fast, you might not really see it, so it's not the end of the world if it's not perfect. But you want it to kind of blend in. That way, people don't really notice it. So we turn that spin layer back on. As you can see, if I come forward here, you'll see that tint layer. But if I do it fast, you notice it because I've talked about it, but it kind of blends in. It kind of looks like that's what the back was supposed to be anyway. Okay. So then that brings us to the final piece of this puzzle, which is the gradient light swipe that comes in here at the end. You're going to go to your spin layer. You're going to select your spin layer, and then you're going to look up light sweep. And you're going to put that on. As you can see, I already have it in here. I can show you what I did for mine. As far as you're going to put, I put keyframes on the center. That way it's moving. So my initial center was at 2489, 540. Put it wherever you want. Mess around with it. There's no perfect way to do it. It's whatever you feel fit. So I have that there. Put a keyframe to start it. Have it sweep across. Keyframe there to end it. And then you're good. Done. Bada bing, bada boom. Wash your hands of it. It's all finished. When you get back into Premiere Pro, you're going to see this little red bar. That's probably telling you that it's not going to play back super smooth. So what I do is you come up and you go sequence, render into out. That's the only part that needs to be rendered. Should happen pretty quick, and it starts playing on its own. But you'll have the effect in here. I actually threw an adjustment layer on top, which is 2 things. So let me go ahead and render that again real quick, actually. So this adjustment layer has 2 things on it. It's a transform, and I have a directional blur with a mask on it. So let's turn that back on. Let's click this adjustment layer and go to effect controls. So as you can see, I have the whole video scaling up as that Nike Classic is flying out towards you. Okay, and then I also have this directional blur on it. As you can see, if I turn this off, cleans up all the outside, just adds like a little bit of an effect to it, kind of makes you focus your attention right there on the center of that thing flying out at you. And then I added some sound effects in there, 2 whooshes as it spins around, and then like this shink sound, like I think it was like a broken glass type sound, and that's what I used to get the sound effect. So this is what it sounds like. And you can have whatever transition to the next video you want. But that's it. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. I mean, it's a little bit involved when you get After Effects and all that sort of stuff. But, test it out. Give it a try. If you try it and you have questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help however I can. If this tutorial was helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know if it was helpful for you. I'm here to help you guys out, and I want to help you guys be successful in what you're doing. So stay smooth, y'all. We'll see you later.